To start off, I want to show you a very powerful feature called Decompose. We've got our final sequence here, just a series of 4 shots. It's only 4 seconds long. I'm going to duplicate this by selecting the sequence in the bin and hitting Command D. That creates a copy of it. And I'm going to name this copy Decompose. Kind of a disgusting thing to call it, but that's the way it works. Now that I've got this final sequence and I've called it Decompose, this is all low resolution media, and we want to bring it up to higher resolution. How do you do that? The best way to do it, the most efficient way and the most professional way to do this, is to take this sequence, the copy of the sequence, and decompose it. And to decompose, we're going to go to our clip menu and come down here to the Decompose choice. There's a bunch of options for us. Decompose offline media only. We don't want to do that because we have media online. We can see it, so we'll deselect that. Capture clips only, imported clips, or captured and imported clips. You can decide whether, do I need to decompose imported clips or not. Maybe you've got some other way you're going to bring in imported clips. Captured and imported might be the best choice. Also, your handle length. In other words, if I'm going to decompose these clips and try to rebatch capture them at a higher resolution, how many frames, heads and tails, do I want to leave on each one of these clips? So in case after I've brought them up to a higher resolution, somebody wants to change something or add a dissolve, how much time do you want to put handles on there? And obviously the more handles you have, the longer it takes to bring that footage back in and the more space it takes up on your drive. We'll say 60 is a good number. That's almost what I always leave, but you could change it to 30 if you wanted to. And also create new sequence. We've already created a new sequence, so we don't have to do that option. And we're just going to say OK. And so what is this going to do? Selected sequences will be relinked to new offline master clips. Perfect, that's what I want. OK. Now you can see what's happened. If I go to my final sequence Decompose and I open this up now, you'll see that all my media is offline. It's all completely gone because it's linked now to these 4 clips, which are also offline, that say new on them. The reason why they say new is because they're no longer the full length of the original clip. They're shortened to only be as much media that was in the sequence plus the handles that I left for it. And if there were dissolves in there, it would be the media plus the room for the dissolve plus the room for the handles. So now that we have these 4 clips and we have them decomposed, you can look at starting time code and the tape, and you can actually go, oh, they're good. They're all from the same tape. That's one of the reasons why you want to decompose. You can actually rebatch digitize by choosing a sequence and just saying batch capture this sequence. I don't want to do that because if I do that, it might halfway through my batch capture, it says, oh, you need tape number 6, and I don't have tape number 6, then everything grinds to a halt. This way, if I decompose first, I can actually see, oh, all of these clips that I want to batch capture are from Boston 01. So that's very useful information, especially if you have a gigantic long sequence. You can actually line up all of your tapes in order on the table, getting ready to go into the tape deck. Make sure you have them all before you start your batch capture. So that's how you decompose a sequence, and it's useful for batch capturing. All of these clips would then be batch captured by simply selecting them all, going to clip and batch capture, and it would ask for your deck and do all kinds of stuff, and you would batch capture those. Then these clips would be online, and so would this final sequence Decompose would also be online at full resolution. The trick is that my final sequence here is still online. The one that I made my duplicate from is still online because I made a copy, and only this sequence is decomposed, or only this sequence has lost those links to the original offline media. So that's Decompose, a pretty complex concept. The other concept we want to cover is transcoding and consolidating. Let me talk to you a little bit about that. Consolidating and transcoding can be done in a number of ways. You can consolidate and transcode a sequence. For example, if you want to take an entire sequence and turn that sequence into another resolution. Let's say you brought in all your clips at full resolution, and now you want to take this project onto a laptop to go travel with it, and your laptop can't handle all that online resolution. You can transcode it to DV resolution and then easily take that DV resolution footage and put it on your laptop. Let me show you how to do that. Here's our final sequence again. If I want to transcode this sequence, simply select it, go to Consolidate and Transcode in the clip menu, choose the drive on which your media resides, and decide whether you're going to consolidate, which means I just want to take exactly the amount of media plus some handles and save that media. In other words, I know I've got maybe 2 hours of this guy standing in the park fishing, but all I really need is the 1 second of footage that I have in my sequence. So in order to do that, you simply select how much handles you want, whether you're going to create a new sequence. And now I'm in my final sequence. This time I'm going to choose Create New Sequence because I didn't make a duplicate of this before. Delete original media files when done. This is up to you. If you're trying to save space on your hard drive and you know, I don't need anything but the footage that's in this sequence, you can delete original media files when done. That'll save you a bunch of hard drive space. Skip media files already on the target disk. That means that if you have this 2-hour-long clip of this guy fishing and it's on this drive, it's going to skip it. We don't want to skip it. We want to have it work on this media. And we're going to choose Consolidate. It does kind of the same thing that Decompose did, except for this time, in my consolidated sequence, the media is still there because what I've done is I've made short clips that just have the media from this sequence. That's all that's there. If I go to try to open these clips up, I only have about a second where the original shot was much longer. The final thing that I want to explain to you is transcoding. Very similar to consolidating. I'm going to choose a sequence again. I'll go back to my original final sequence, select it, and choose Transcode and Consolidate. This time we're going to transcode the media, which is kind of that idea that I told you about where we're going to turn it into DV resolution media to go on my laptop. We're going to create a new sequence again. We're going to create 60 frame handles on this sequence. We're going to convert the video to DV25. We could also choose any of these other resolutions if we wanted to, but DV25 will be great for a laptop. Include reformatted clips already at target resolution. That would be important if you already have some clips that are at DV25 and you want to move them to the laptop. You'd want to include those reformatted clips and hit transcode. All clips were skipped during the transcode consolidate operation. My guess is that this is already at DV resolution, so we haven't done anything. But if this was full resolution media, we wanted to take it to DV25, that's how we would do it.